Welcome back guys, Gars from the Evo project again, and today I'm bringing you a updated version for the new update, housing update. So this is done all the maths and stuff for it. It's the updated build of the Blessed Demon, my Magicka Templar DPS tank. It's obviously for PvP, it can use in PvE, but it's not ideal. It runs dual wield sword and broad. The sets, everything's pretty easy to get your hands hold of. It's pretty cheap. It doesn't use any proc sets. Just going back to the good old days of just skill. The stats unbuffed. Obviously I am in PvP, so I do have the battle spirit of the extra 5k max health. But this is the dual wield bar. And the sword and broad bar. So the stats are pretty rounded. Not bad. When you buff up, they are the defense stats. If you fully proc up, they are your DPS stats. I just haven't fully procced up. So if you actually, when you cast Entropy, you get about 3,200, nearly 3,300 spell damage with Alchemist procced. Just if you need a boost, if not you sit just under 3k. Right, let's go into the actual sets then. So on the front bar I run 2 willpower swords. Just to keep the max magicka up. Really, in fact you don't run inner light on your front bar, it's on your back bar or your sword and broad. Willpower obviously frees up an extra space. You don't need to run inner light on your front bar because of Vampire's Bane, but I'll explain that in a bit. But anyway, so gold weapon, try to get a primary gold weapon. I know temporary alloys are expensive, but they are dropping in price now. The second hand offhand enchantment it's the Crusher enchantment, reduces spell resistance and physical resistance just to help with those heavy armor. I've got infused on the front just to make the proc higher. I mean, you could run sharpened, would be better. Get a sharpened willpower. And I run a defending on the backhand. I've been playing around with running defending. If you run dual defending, it's the same as last patch as running a sword and broad. So it's quite nice, quite tanky. My back bar, I run 2 clever alchemist. So this is how you can get as many. This is so you can get quite a few traits. Obviously, so you get your 2k health on your front bar. You don't actually see much of a stat drop. I think you lose, say, about 124. Yeah, 124 weapon spell damage. But it makes up for it with the the high max magicka. On the head, you can run any monster helm really that gives you max magicka. I like to run infused with a health glyph just to give that extra bit more tankiness. I know a lot of people like impen and stuff, but you definitely notice a difference, especially with entropy on your front bar, that running infused health over running impen. With the enchantment, you're almost looking, with entropy, you're almost looking at about 3 or 4k extra health. So it's definitely worth it. Obviously, Clever Alchemist on the chest, legs and feet, all in pen. Shoulder Molokina, I would prefer an impen one. Just infused is pretty shit. I don't know why I've got an infused one. I'm pretty sure I've got an impen one laying around somewhere. But anyway, yeah. So just magicka. So you got magicka on all your pieces apart from on your head. The other 5th piece that you're running is Desert Rose. Just spare It's more max health, max magicka, and when you take damage you have a 10% chance to restore magicka. This goes every 1 second. This procs, or seems to proc, a lot more than 10%. You'll notice when you're getting attacked that you will be pulling in a lot more magic than that, which really helps. A lot of people like the Lich, but I prefer this because the Lich obviously has a minute cooldown. But the way PvP's working at the moment, you're going to have quite a few people beating on you, so it's going to allow you to have that max magicka up to cast your heals and keep your buffs up. So you want sturdy on the feet, the hands. Ideally you want sturdy on one more piece. Could go shoulder, I guess, or impen. Doesn't really matter, just to help with the reduction to blocking. And then all spell damage on the jury. All arcane, obviously. Desert Rose. Desert Rose can be quite expensive, but shop around. You can get it for a good price. That's that. The consumable. I really like Witch Mother's Potent Brew at the moment. With the increased max magicka and max health, but also that magicka recovery. Good, really, like, yeah, I run that on all my magicka builds now. Really helps us. I do run normal magicka pots. You can run whatever. I just haven't got around to crafting anymore. Or the spell powered, the Alliance spell draw. They're pretty good. Yeah. Right. So the skills. So on my front bar, I'm running Toppling Charge for your CC, as Blazing Spears is going to take a nerf next update and won't. So this is going to be the Templar stun again. I run Reflective Light. You run Reflective Light to proc. Now a lot of people don't talk about this, but you proc Illuminate, obviously increasing your spell damage for you in the group by 5% for 20 seconds. And obviously Reflective Light obviously gives you Major Prophecy, and this way you don't need Inner Light on your front bar. This Reflective Light and Entropy together, you know, Inner Light doesn't give you any DPS. Well, Reflective Light obviously gives you a dot. You can run Vampire's Bane as well. I prefer Reflective Light because you can hit more than one target. And also reduces their movement speed by 40%. Like, if you're chasing somebody, try to hit them with Reflective Light, because it's going to slow them up and give you a chance to catch up with them, especially the stamina builds. Radiant Glory for the Execute. I know it's taken a nerf next. By 5 or 4%. It's not a massive amount. Still going to be really good. Then obviously Structured Entropy for the health buff, and to your major sorcery, and then the bread and butter DPS of Punching Sweeps. Reflective Light, you could drop Reflective Light and put on Dark Flare if you want to put applying a healing debuff. And I also know Purifying Light's next patch to become more of a burst, and it doesn't get affected by Battle Spirit, so the damage will hit for that damage tooltip if you could fill it up, which can help with taking down tankier targets if you've got a group of you. The ultimate I use is Shooting. Thinking about maybe changing that to Soul Strike. This is very OP. As you can see, I'm not buffed. Already almost at 47,000 without the upgrade either. I think if I buff up with Alchemist and stuff, let's just have a look. Let's see what I can. Let's have a look at the tooltip now. See, 56k without the buff. I think you're looking at around about 60k. So it's 30k. You could kill you could one hit somebody with that, or let the channeling happen. It's pretty powerful. Single target. I mean, I use Meteor for single target, not really group. Back bar using channel focus, inner light, elusive mist. So we are vampire for this build. Breath of life, ritual of retribution. Now, I use ritual of retribution to hunt down Nightblades, but if you want to be even more tanky, use the other morph, because if you'll be more of a healer, it clears 5 harmful effects, which is pretty damn. If you're if a Dragon Knight has talons on you, drop that. The cleanse, don't dodge roll. Same as the ice staff, these sort of things. Don't dodge roll them. It's going to cost you stamina, and they're just going to hit you with a CC that you're going to need to break anyway. If you don't want to use retribution, you can use against Dragon Knights Purge. This is really, and then go to effective purge. This is really good against Dragon Knight, especially in next patch. Reduces the effects, the negative effects, by 50% for 5 seconds after casting it. Does cost a lot of magicka, so it's better for the stamina builds. And then obviously I'm using Bat Swarm. Bat Swarm's a good one, or Devouring Swarm is a good one. If for tanking, then the other morph, the teleporting one that you're going to get in the next patch, is going to be much better for DPS. But it's Devouring Swarm. I generally don't use it for DPS. I will use it if I need. I proc Alchemist on this bar and then use Bat Swarm if I'm going into a big group. I need to push the group forward. If you need to push through them, so if you like Zerging, hate it or love it, it's in the game, deal with it. If you need to push your team through, popping Alchemist and Bat Swarming and keeping your buffs, and dropping your buffs and purifying Breath of Life, just you alone will be enough that the enemy team will push back and allow your blues to push forward, especially if you're Breath of Lifing as well. And you're getting beat on. And you got your rune down, and you're getting a lot of magicka back through that. So it's 2,300 for Desert Rose, rounding down. Potentially every second, which when you're being beat on enough, it is every second. But you're also getting 120 every half a second, so that's 240. So you're looking at about 2,500 onto your recovery, which puts you up 3,800 recovery, which is up there with the Lich set. And I find the utility a lot better than Lich. Like if you're 1v1ing, Lich is obviously a lot better, and you could probably run Lich in that place of it. But yeah, I still wouldn't. I prefer Desert Rose. It's a bit tankier for me, and the fact that yes, I am all in light armor. I'm actually in. I've got 1 piece of heavy. Probably run 2 heavy, 5 light. But yeah, pretty damn tanky for a light armor wearer. Champion points. So the champion, as far as passive concerned, what you can get. Right, so champion points: 19 Magician, 62 into Arcanist, 25 into Tumbling. You could take a few out of Arcanist and put it into Tumbling. 10 into Shadow Ward for the reduced block cost. Must have for like survivability. You've got to have that, and 2 pieces, a minimum of 2 pieces on your body. 37 into Blessed for the increased heals. And obviously 21 into there for the crits. This build I had earlier crit 16k Breath of Life on another player. Obviously it's quite powerful. It's quite a big heal. Especially with everyone with heavy armor, you need to be hitting those sort of numbers when you're chucking a heal down. 80 into Elemental Expert and 4 into Spell Erosion. 45 into Thermatage for your jabs and your Vampire's Bane. Or Reflective Light. 75 into Resistance to bring up your crit resistance. 50 into Hardy. 45 into Elemental Defender. You don't need any into Thick Skin because you're Templar and you're Purifying. 17 into Quick Recovery for those heals again. I don't know if that's the best or what, but that works the best for me. Obviously you want the shield passives. And obviously you want all your class passives. Light armor, obviously the heavy armor ones, if you can. Or the Vampire, or the Fighters Guild, or Mages Guild. I know Mages Guild are pain in the arse. I've worked it out roughly about 10 hours to get from 1 to 10 of pure grinding. That's not taking breaks. Undaunted obviously helps. That's not as bad anymore to do, considering you can do 3 pledges a day now. I'd advise you to go into Group Finder. I know it's a pain in the arse. I do them on normal. At least do 1 dungeon normal every day in a vet if you're good enough to carry groups, because you will get a lot of XP towards Undaunted doing that. Obviously your Alliance War passives. I am a High Elf. High Elf's probably the best for this. Breton and Argonian probably second, and then Imperial third. Dark Elf, Argonian and Breton are probably second. I'm not a fan of the High Elf. I know a lot of people aren't, but sometimes you just got to do it for builds if you want a powerful build. Obviously, run your alchemy and your provisioning for your extra duration of food. Just save you money. Save for pots. So yes, it's pretty. It's nice. It's a nice build. It doesn't use any sort of wacky procs or anything like that. Just the only proc that you use is you're obviously a clever alchemist. I'll just run through some styles. So you've got them all coming at you. I'd back off a little bit. Just back the lines a little bit, just so your DKs could take the brunt of it, and then go in straight away. If you see a fight going on, first thing you need to do: drop your ward, drop your Purify, and Breath of Life, and get that Breath of Life down. You know, that could save the guy that you see him fighting and stuff. You know, it can help. Can help you out. As far as other things, keep the runes, these buffs down. Keep them down. Like, I can't press. You know, it doesn't cost you hardly anything to keep these 2 down. Then use Elusive Mist. Now, a lot of people don't know as well, if you keep your rune down and stand Elusive Mist, you actually still gain Magicka in it. And also, Desert Rose, if I've found out today, which I didn't know, that Desert Rose can actually... Oh, I'm in the wall. Desert Rose can still procs, still gives you Magicka back, even if you're in Mistform. So you're reducing the damage you're taking and receiving Magicka back while in Mistform, which is pretty good. Use Mistform loads. As you come out of Mistform, dodge roll, Breath of Life, Mistform again. Because you are going to get hit as you come out. You know, that's just down to whatever's chasing you to learn. You know, if you're getting whacked with poison injections, Purify, dodge roll. Breath of Life, Mist. If you've got loads of people beating on you, drop your rune. Dirt. You know, make yourself even more tanky. Why not? Right, anyway guys, that is the Blessed Demon, the Vampiric Templar, PvP tank, healer, fuck it, whatever you want to call it. An all-round Templar build for PvP. Thanks for watching guys, please comment and subscribe, and happy gaming.